quick intro for YouTube. Welcome, guys, back to the Battlegrounds Custom 1400 bracket. We have Tiniae, and I'm probably just going to call you Tin because I'm going to butcher your name every time, against Salarino. And yeah, guys, you know how badly I butcher names. Apologies to begin with. But welcome. We're going to get into game number one between these two. This is actually a round of 64 bracket set here. These players are not by any means any different than anyone else. Random seeds all the way around. We had 35 people enter, so rather than kick a few out to have a bracket of 32, I just left there be the additional ones. And unfortunately for the guys who are in this bracket, they will eventually have to play an additional game to continue. So, a little bit tougher road, but going to be interesting to see them so many times. And Hitch, whenever you're at 5 seconds, please let me know.
I am ready.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, Hitch, why don't you continue with the introduction while I fix the scoreboard.
All right, everyone. Battlegrounds, you know it, you love it. For those of you new to the tournament, you start with reduced resources at home, so less food, less gold, less stone. But there's plenty of resources here in this pit in the middle, the battleground, as it would be. So this map's all about that feudal age and castle age aggression to take control of the middle to get the resources to win the game. We've seen a lot of cavalry civs on this game or on this map, and we are seeing that continue with Tin here taking Lithuanians, but in a pick that we have not seen very often yet in this tournament, Mayans for Selinaro. Yeah, Selinaro.
Yeah, Mayans we have seen before, at least once or twice in the 1200 bracket, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays this one. Obviously, Mayans, I think, could be a really good civ on this map. Just have to try to get your opponent not to be able to hit you too hard with scouts in the beginning, play a little bit more defensive, I believe, until you get some military numbers out. But nonetheless, it should be a good matchup. These, I believe, are the only two Italian players in the bracket. We were given.
I was just going to bring that up.
We were given a little bit of hell for it about these two being the only Italians and they have to play each other, but at least one will guaranteedly move on to the next round. But yeah, I thought that was entertaining. I obviously did not even pay attention to exactly where everyone was from when I typed it all in, so it was not on purpose. Again, random seeds, but I guess scheduling was probably pretty simple for this.
Yeah, I imagine so. Looking at this map here, resources seem pretty balanced. Nothing too crazy one way or the other. But one thing I think worth noting is Tin has a couple hills near his base, and he's facing Mayans, so this could come into play here if Tin is able to put it under pressure.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it could go either way here, though. There's some really valuable resources here, so a castle for either player could be devastating for an attacker, but extremely beneficial for the defender. So Lithuanians, I feel like, have a few early edges here that help them out pretty nicely with all that additional food they have. And having faster trash units really going to pay off here against the Mayan archers. So something to look out for.
Absolutely. We are looking at 4 relics on this map. Sometimes you get 3 depending on where they spawn, obviously, because they can't spawn too close to each other. But we do have 4 on this map, so lucky for the Lithuanian player, because there's not a ton of relics on this map usually.
Yeah, and Tinae, or Tin, I'm just going to call it Tin, but I'm sorry. But that's what I'm going with. He is pushed 1 deer into the TC, 1 to his mill, and looking to have a pretty decent amount of herdables there. On the opposite side, looks like the boar was brought in. Feels a little bit far out for him, though. Not exactly the best lure in the world, but it'll still do the job, and he's got plenty of vills to get food in. Second boar coming in for Tin as well, and it's looking like he'll get that in quite successfully, actively maneuvering with his scout. And I think this is a move that has been underrated in this. Obviously, we made this so it was not easy to bring in all these additional resources. You actually have to do something a little bit more than normal to get those in. So I think we've seen a good 4 or 5 people do it throughout the first bracket show matches and this one.
Yeah, it's definitely become more common, and we've really spent some detailed time testing behind the scenes the board distance, and I like where it is right now, where it's like you said, with an unloomed villager, you have to do something special or sneaky or tricky to get there. You know, you have to block the boar. With another unit, you have to you scout. You have to do something else. You can't just get it. So you either gotta get loom. Makes it a lot more of a trade-off.
Yeah, for sure. And I know Funky in chat's saying, you know, obviously losing a lot of HP for the scout is a big deal. But with that said, the risk is kind of outweighed sometimes with the potential reward. I mean, look how much faster he's able to click up here. And obviously going to have a pretty good solid scout build coming in with all that food. And on the other side, it's still a decent ways away, going for, looks like a 23 pop, but it looks like he's a little bit short on the food. Nope, there he finally gets it. So almost a full time jump ahead here for Feudal Age.
You know, I think it's interesting here, you know, Salinero sending all of his food bills after that board to the wood line. I think that's when a lot of players might opt to go for some of the deer or berries in the middle, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think with Mayans, though, you need to try to wall yourself in a bit, play more defensively, and get the archer numbers out. And with this map, I don't see many players going for like a full eagle spam. But that said, so, we've had Tin on a really nice build here. It's looking really clean, stables up, pretty good timing. Something is a TC here, and what is this? A Vil. He does have one idle Vil in the TC. I believe he might have used that earlier and left it there. Idle time must be going up pretty good for that, but...
yeah, but still less than Salinero here. So.
Yeah, horse collar and a double bit coming in.
Foul.
So this is going to be... I'm just gonna call him GDR, but yeah, he's gonna have a really nice eco behind this, so would expect him to stay in feudal for quite some time.
You know, I don't know whether to chalk this up to map knowledge or just being better with the scout, but look at the number of sheep that he's pulled in from the middle, and I don't think we saw any extra sheep come in for Sal.
Yeah, he's down to his last deer and already running low on berries, so with archers going to be coming in, obviously food not as big of a concern at the moment, but still will be needed pretty desperately here. Unfortunately though, Tin, no idea where his opponent is, has not been able to scout it with all the additional stuff he did at home, so he will be finding him before long here, but a little bit behind. Some Vils exposed though, so still going to be rewarded with at least one Vil kill for sure. Oh, Vil makes it, another Vil might go down here actually. So Tin with a nice early lead here, getting up so much faster, being able to use that to his advantage, and get 2 Vils killed to actually even out the villager count now.
And here's another Vil going down for Sal. This is very unfortunate. This is what we talk, like if you're gonna wall up on this map, you need to commit, and you need to commit early.
Yeah, it's a big commitment, and it's to the point where I feel like walling a wood line is, and your gold is more effective than walling the whole base until you actually have some military presence. A lot of
Vil
down going down here. Feels rough, and farms being dropped like crazy. Archery range was never completed. Oh no! Look how close. 1477 out of 1500.
98.45%.
Oh.
Yeah, very hard to come back from 4 Vils, but important to remember, Funky, is this lower skill level, right? Like, the other player can make mistakes too, and maybe that's what you have to count on in Sal's position right now.
Yeah, but that said, Tin with all the additional herdables, dropping a ton of farms now. He's already done the damage that he needs to do. I think he just hits home and booms now. And I think that's the right play.
Yeah.
He's got a scout here in the front of DR's base, and I think he's just gonna keep an eye for these archers coming forward at some point, but obviously that production being severely delayed. A defensive archery range coming up at home for what will be just skirmishers, I imagine, and booming into Castle Age with a well, now it's a 6 villager lead. Going to be pretty massive here. Mayans and Archer civilizations, kind of questionable still. I'm still sold that this is a very scout into night build map. I think we're kind of seeing that proven over and over again, really. I think the only civ that won on this map that was an Archer civ, was it Vikings?
I don't know. I think we've had some cases. I don't think that archers aren't doable here.
I don't think they're not doable, but I think you have to play extremely defensive and expect to be walled by like the 17th, 18th minute.
Well before that.
Yeah, I guess
like you're like the 12th minute at the latest. But I think it's kind of like it takes more skill to execute than you really have in this level. And like Funky saying in chat, you can't really afford to go men-at-arms archers. It's a lot more difficult that way, because of the lack of food. So.
Yeah. I mean, Tin doing an excellent job, even bringing in more sheep at the moment. Just bringing them all to his town center here. And archer numbers only up to 9-10 right now, and we have skirms already in production. So still a pretty massive eco lead, skirmishers to defend, and I don't see how this archer play is going to do anything at this point. I think GDR kind of needs to just stop producing archers and go for Castle Age as quickly as possible. Maybe even sell stone to get there.
Yeah. I mean, I think you might be able to argue in his position that, keep using the wood and gold to build archers to have the mass when you get to Castle Age. You're behind. So definitely don't go out with this, because I think you're going to get wrecked when the other guy gets the castle first, but he needs to be building them now if he's going to have any chance in castle.
Yeah, Castle Age is on its way in already for Tin. Looking to be a very nice time indeed. And behind this, he will be dropping an additional stable. And he will go most likely Knights and Skirms. Would expect to see a monastery as soon as he hits Castle Age as well. And I feel like at this point where you feel like you're that far ahead and you've killed a lot of vills, I feel like a little bit of too stable 2TC play is probably preferable here, where he's not committing everything he has to military, he's still adding a little bit of eco, and on this map, moving across into the middle, something that we would expect to see.
Yeah, and I still think that's, the defining trait of the winners we've looked back on this map. It's people who get that control in feudal or in early castle of that middle. So if the player, like something, Tin could drop this lead, he could throw this away if he doesn't go to the middle for TC.
Yeah, it definitely needs some map control. It's exclamation point rank. There you go. Archers moving out, and Castle Age will come in. Let's hope this military turns around and goes home until he gets to Castle Age himself here.
Oh yeah, I mean, he could get lucky here. There is a TC drop down from Tin, so maybe he intercepts these villagers if he scoops back.
Yeah, but we're gonna have 3 stable production now with skirmishers out on the field. You have to get really lucky to catch these vills now.
Yeah, it's not gonna. Well, he's got enough spearmen there. Well, he only has 1 spearman. I missaw that.
Well, the problem is this is the first time that
does he know where the
GDR
enemy
has
is?
moved out of his base. Has no idea where the opponent is.
Oh god, so he's scouting right now.
Yeah, his Eagle
Well,
Scout was
honestly,
home.
the scouting is going to save his life, though, in that his archers are in the middle of fucking nowhere. uh, which will be nice as long as it'll allow him to get to crossbow. And if he doesn't even have, yeah, he
Just
only has
got the Castle Age
assaulting.
crossbow is actually behind an
Yeah,
archer.
yeah, but Bodkin's coming in, so this saved his life. Like he would have been in a real bad situation if those had wandered into Tin's base at that point.
Yeah, but Tin up to 3 stables, and he's gonna drop a siege workshop, so would expect to see a lot of pressure here very soon.
Yeah, it's about to become very uncomfortable for him.
Yeah, and crossbow is on its way in, but so is squires, so maybe he's thinking about adding some eagles as well. Either way, it feels very difficult to come back from this position. Having that military mass, though, may be what turns it around for him, but separated militaries right now, one of these groups get caught out, it could be a rough situation. And he has shown his military force in the north here.
Yeah, Renault. Well,
And knights
can't
and
tell if he.
skirms are moving in that direction as well, so
I mean, he's got a 15. If he focus fires here, he might be able to have a little bit of success.
yeah, he'll take some numbers down, but I mean it's fully upgraded in defense for knights at the moment.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Important addition though, the monastery is coming out already. Gonna have a monk on the field here for GDR. And a quick university, so ballistics the key. Military grouping up again here now, so this could be a good fight actually. It needs to keep hitting and running here with these archers. Instead he's just moving one unit, one group of units. A much better trade than he would have gotten was if he separate, I think.
Yeah, this is not bad at all.
Yeah, it would be
Keep
nice
moving,
to come
keep
back
moving.
and keep moving. Yep.
Yep, don't stop.
Not bad, but we do have a bunch of fills just died on the gold. So this micro going down over here. The manganese
Oh, yeah.
doing a good work over here. One spear here now with these archers. Probably not going to save them all, but does a decent job here. Pretty nice exchange. Problem now, though, villager lead getting heavily out of control as we have 2 TCs pumping here for Tin.
Yeah, I think now Sal can take this loss that's coming with some dignity. That was a good fight, some good micro, but
yeah, I just don't know what he can do now. Especially he's gonna. Yeah, it looks like he is gonna target the
Oh!
barracks.
No, Ken, it definitely was a good fight for the Cav player, as it were.
Oh yes.
It's just that that's the best Sal could have done. That's what we're trying to give him credit for. It's like he made what he could in the situation rather than just letting him die.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for him is showing the knights, or showing, not the knights, god, now I'm all confused as to what I'm talking about, but showing the archer numbers in the north and not having the military together.
Yeah.
But yeah, knights are going to wreck here. They can sit under these town centers. Can't even fit all of them into town centers. Mangonels will likely take this down as well.
Did we ever see any monks? I think monks could have helped a lot here.
There was a monk produced, but I do not know if
Maybe he was just thinking relics, but I would have liked to see some monks helping.
Yep. GG comes in. GIGI, interesting. And now the other languages begin. But nonetheless, solid play from Tin, and GDR did what he could. Like you said, took the best fight he could have asked for, but unfortunately falling 4 vills behind that early is extremely difficult to come back from.
No doubt. You just gotta try, and Sal put up a fight, so you can't knock him for that there.
Absolutely. But Tin moving into game number 2, which will be GDR's home map here. And of course, I don't have that information pulled up. So we're going to go to our split screen here, and we will take a look at it. Translation, let's move to the next. It's the better thing to do. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. And if I can find this information, I can see what the home map will actually be, but...
It's going to be lanes.
Alright, perfect. And guys, there was a Civ draft for best of threes. I don't really find it all that great until we get to the last game.
It's not worth talking to.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Juice, I'm getting a little sick of lanes. I shouldn't, because it's a compliment. It's a compliment to the map I made that people like it, right? Like,
Yeah.
A popular map's good, but like, we get lanes a lot.
Yep.
Very
I'm
popular.
at 5 seconds.
You too.
3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, I mean, lanes is a popular one. It is, however, one of the few maps that we have that are entirely land-based. So I believe that to be the reasoning why. But yeah, it is definitely a compliment. I mean, people, especially this, Mott and Bailey and Nomad Hubs have really taken a liking to. So, gonna be interesting to see how these two play it out. And we have Malians for Tin, and we have Indians for GDR. Interesting choices. Both Civs are great. I don't have an issue with either one, but they're not what we expect in this map, like the Britons, Vikings, the slow push Civs, because it's such a good map for them. Malians, though, gonna have archers into probably camels, or knights, I suppose, maybe light cav late game. Indians, though, going to go full camel here.
Yeah, I mean, what do you favor here? Because my first thought is Malian. What do you have, Malian? I don't know. I favor Indians off first glance, but I'm not super familiar with Malians. Manta will be real mad at me.
So, the problem with Indians is they nerfed the crap out of them, taking away that last defensive upgrade.
Yeah, but how often does lanes get to imp?
That's a good question. Not very, but with Malian infantry, I don't favor camels here. I don't think Indians are going to be all that great.
Do you think the Malian player will go infantry, or do you think they're planning on going knights and camels themselves? What's the pick? What's the thought picking Malians on this map in the first place?
You'd have to ask Tin. This is not the Civ that I would personally choose here, but now that it is here, and we are witnessing this against Indians, I think we go complete trash build. I think that's
okay.
I think that's the move here. Just because I think that Malian infantry is insane, and then you can add skirmishers, and they're not the worst if you need them. But Malian infantry, I feel like maybe, I don't know. It's a weird matchup, one that we haven't really seen, so it's gonna be interesting. No Halbs. Oh well, never mind. I don't know Malians well enough.
Yeah.
So maybe just archers. No arbalest, or no bracer at least, right?
Yeah. So the strength of Malians is the pierce armor.
We have another player in the tournament who favors Malians.
Tin's got to get together with Manta for best of 7 Malian mirror matches to see who's the true Malian.
Arbs, no bracer. Yeah. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, Farimba is the only thing I really know with Malians, and I know it's insane. And I know they have TCs that will, if you research the tech for, I think it's Castle Age tech, they'll shoot arrows at everything, no matter if they're garrisoned or not. That's really all that I know of Malians. And they have Gibettos, because we saw that in the Mantis set, which was effective at the time. So, cheap construction on wood. Yeah, I mean, that is the one bonus they get for ego, right? Malian's a Civ I need to study more, that's all. But, Tin going for the wood line closest to his town center. Not taking any risks here. Just barely saves this Ville here as it jumped in the TC with 4 HP. Barracks up nice and early here. Did he take any gold? Not yet, so maybe he's thinking about just militia. Maybe 2 militia here? Or maybe he's just not going to get loom. And and get the third militia. Oh, tons of idle time right there for his GDR, unfortunately. Finishing up that elephant. It looked like a good 10 bills were idle. But maybe a man-at-arms build even, as we see gold coming to already, and Loom's already in. So, not sure. Malian's going to be a question mark here against Indians. Of course, Indians have some other options as well. They can go into their own cav archers that are really good.
Elephant archers, hand cannon.
Elephant archers, not something I really look into seeing. It's
I'd love to see it.
And the problem is they're good against archers. They're not.
I know.
They need
That's why I'd love to see
bonuses
it.
of some kind against something else. Like
they are what they are. I'm just talking, man. I'm just talking.
No, I hate when unique units just aren't what you want them to be. That's all.
The thing, elephant archers are amazing. The one time out of 30 that you need them,
yeah,
they're a godsend. You're usually never going to touch them, but when you do touch them, it's amazing.
Yep. Feudal Age on its way in here. 50% for tin and militia being produced, and looks like it will be 2 for now, probably a third, and then man-at-arms upgrade incoming. And we've seen man-at-arms do some terribly nasty things to wood lines on this map as of late. So
more often than not, Drush and men-at-arms have decided the outcome of lanes games.
Yep.
You can't play lanes without either being prepared to do your own Drush men-at-arms or have a good plan to counter it, because it's very common.
Yeah, and obviously it's a little bit of a weaker scout here, but man-at-arms coming forward here, and it should be a few open vulnerable areas here, as the wood line is pretty much walled in, it looks like, but exposed vills on the mill there, and the gold is quite exposed.
Yeah, well,
palisade there.
Starting to get the walls up. Yeah, but these walls are not going to get up quite in time to stop these men-at-arms. The hope here is that you delay long enough to get your archery range up, right? Like that, because it's too late to go your own men-at-arms.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go archery range here. The problem with that, obviously, is do you really want to go archeries as Indians?
No, but 1 or 2 right now. It's not an ideal use of your wood, obviously, but it's better than dying.
This is true. Looks like the men-at-arms are just going to attack a gate, which should be defendable here.
And we are going scouts, which I get you makes a lot of sense. I mean, scouts in low numbers don't do wonderful against men-at-arms, though, but there's something, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, still a few idols there that he takes care of that now. I think these men-at-arms still can get in here. There's a hole between the lumber camp and the wood line, so this is going to be maybe unfortunate here. Oh, quick walls come in. Wow.
Oh, it was already partially built.
Was it?
Yeah. Look, if you looked at the HP on it.
I think 2 just got dropped, is all I'm saying. But nevertheless, bloodlines coming in here for the scouts as well. So not gonna have very many scout numbers out early, but maybe he feels comfortable defending here. Oh no, a hole! Oh, there's a tree there. Whew. Close call.
And the lone archer gonna get picked off for tin. I don't know if I love the men-at-arms or the bloodlines before any scouts, especially in this position, but
yeah, I mean, he didn't see any archers coming forward until now, so it was not really much of a concern for that. I mean, obviously, I would have expected an archery range before a stable, but
yeah, this is the problem with the stable, is he doesn't have the food eco to make enough scouts, especially having gotten bloodlines to make scouts. But if he had put a range down, he could have definitely easily afford some archers to clean this up.
yeah, or just skirms for himself would be fine.
He can't afford skirms, he doesn't have food.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, just now getting
He,
food. He is dropping a market though, so he's gonna balance the eco a bit.
Funky thinks it was an FC attempt. I can see that.
Could have been an FC attempt, but
The walling's just too slow.
yeah, and
And that they're in.
oh,
This is GG.
yeah, I don't see a way around that one.
This is GG.
Now, archers, 1 scout, 3 men-at-arms still alive, 4 or 5 vills already down
2,
here.
3, 4, 5. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to quit, but at this point, you're 14 vills down because it's not just the fact that he's losing all these vills now. It's that he's had no food income, and the little food he's gotten, he's been putting into scouts. So there's been no vill production.
Well, anytime you're in feudal age and you're at 18 pop, you know it's over. Like, no questions. He's saying bravo, GG, and some other words as well. But Tin going to be taking this set. GG's. Well played. Getting those men-at-arms working. Men-at-arms proving to be great on lanes. Scouts proving to be great on battlegrounds. Meta may be discoverable after how many games have we seen on this? Like 70?
Well, that's the thing here, right? Like, there's what works now. There's the obvious easy solution, but there's a lot of room going throughout this bracket. If you get into later games and you get some of these people that are a little more experienced to do something unexpected. Maybe scouts is the obvious thing to us looking at battlegrounds, and maybe it's what's been working at a low elo. But at some point, maybe someone sees it and they see something else, and
Yeah.
and then as soon as we see it, we're like, why didn't we think of that? So
Yeah, absolutely.
I look forward to seeing how it develops.
Yeah, and I mean, I have played Battlegrounds differently than that as well and made it work, but only been successful with that one time, so won't be sharing that information. But translation here, come on, GG, let's not waste time. Bravo, you understand, I guess. Yep. Went into team games after this, and you never played together before. Yeah, that's awesome. One of the great things about this community, I feel like, is we never played with anyone in this Discord until we started doing this and getting tournaments together. And now I feel like I'm in here every day, either playing or casting games from this community. So it's great. It's been a lot of fun. Met a lot of nice people from all over the world. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying that. But GG's, not exactly sure what we're going to see from Indians or Malians. Won't get to see that until potentially the next round. But Tin taking the game, taking the set, and moving on here. I'm going to
Sleep
pull
well,
up
Tin.
the bracket as well. Yeah, man, thanks for staying up. Thank you. That's insane. It's like 5 a.m. now for you, so appreciate it, man. And we're going to go ahead and update the scores here. And Tin moving on up into the round of 32. We'll play Phoenix in his next set. So looking forward to that. But guys, we're not done. We have more to go. But before that, quick little spiel for YouTube. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, come on over to the Discord. It's linked down below. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And be sure to like, follow, and subscribe.